The stories we tell ourselves, why representation is the revolution we need. Welcome to Soft Girl Era, the sacred space where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve without guilt, without apology, and without explanation. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French. And I'm your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. Today, I had the extraordinary opportunity to sit down with Trenisha McGee, a powerhouse who is unapologetically authentic, direct, and passionate about breaking barriers and empowering our community through truth and representation. Trenisha is making the world a better place by challenging the entertainment industry to stop erasing us, stop stereotyping us, and start telling our real stories. She's not asking for permission, she's demanding transformation. And what she shared with me is going to shake you, wake you, and hopefully move you to demand better. So let's dive in. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. The entertainment industry has been lying to us for decades. And we've been watching those lies, consuming those lies, and worse, believing those lies. The common belief in entertainment is that stereotyping is just how things are. It's normal, it's expected, it's even profitable. Black professionals, Asian Americans, Latinas, and so many other marginalized communities have been reduced to caricatures, tropes, and one dimensional portrayals that do nothing but reinforce bias and erase our complexity. But here's what Tranisha made crystal clear in our conversation. Somewhat stereotyping in entertainment is not just outdated, it's dangerous. It doesn't just misrepresent us, it limits our opportunities. It reinforces systemic biases. It contributes to the erasure of authentic stories. And it shapes how the world sees us, how policies are written about us, and how we see ourselves. Let that sink in for a moment. The stories we see on screen don't just entertain us, they teach us. They tell us who matters, who gets to be complex, who gets to be human. And for too long, Black women, Black professionals, and other marginalized communities have been told through media that we don't get to be fully human. We get to be the sassy sidekick, the struggling single mother, the angry Black woman, the model minority, the martial artist, the criminal, the caregiver with no dreams of her own. And here's the kicker: we've been so conditioned to accept these portrayals that we don't even question them anymore. We just keep watching, we keep quiet, we keep surviving in a media landscape that refuses to see us as we truly are. But Tranisha is done with that. And after hearing what she had to say, I hope you are too. Let me share three key lessons from our conversation. Three truths that we need to carry with us as we move forward in our soft girl era, as we learn to protect our peace, set our boundaries, and demand the respect and representation we deserve. Lesson number one: representation matters. And I don't mean in some abstract, feel good way. I mean, it matters in real, tangible, life altering ways. Authentic and diverse portrayals in media have real world impacts on how people view themselves and others. They influence everything from self esteem to social opportunity. When a young Black girl sees herself reflected on screen as intelligent, complex, powerful, and soft all at once, it changes what she believes is possible for her life. When the world sees Black women in roles that go beyond the stereotypes, it shifts perception, opens doors, and dismantles the boxes we've been forced into. Lesson number two: stereotypes are harmful and persistent. They are not just outdated relics of a less enlightened time, they are actively harming our communities right now, today, in this moment. Stereotypical depictions in entertainment reinforce prejudice. They limit the roles available to talented actors and creators. They erase the complexity and diversity within our communities, and they perpetuate a cycle of misunderstanding and marginalization that affects real lives, real families, real futures. Lesson number 3: change is possible and necessary. Audiences, creators, and industry leaders have the power to demand and create more nuanced, accurate, and empowering representations that reflect the true diversity of Black professionals and other marginalized groups. We are not powerless. We have voices, we have choices, we have influence, and it's time we use it. Now, let me take you deeper into the evidence, the research, the real world examples that back up everything Trenisha shared with me. Let's start with something that should never have been necessary but became a lifeline. In Hollywood, there was a moment when the industry had to face itself in the mirror. Dr. Stacey L. Smith and her collaborators at the Annenberg Inclusion Initiative spent years documenting what we already knew in our bones, that Hollywood was systematically excluding us. They found that in 2016, nearly half of the top 100 films, 47 to be exact, had no Black women or girls with speaking roles. Zero, not one. Let that number sit with you. Nearly half of the biggest films that year erased Black women entirely. Out of this painful reality came something called the inclusion rider, a contractual clause designed to promote diversity and counteract stereotyping by requiring consideration of underrepresented groups in casting and hiring. High profile actors and advocates adopted it, and it sparked industry wide conversations. Progress has been slow, but the writer has pushed studios to be more accountable, to consider a wider pool of talent, and to make on screen stories reflect real world diversity. It's become a symbol of industry self examination and a tool for challenging the status quo. But here's the thing: the fact that we needed a contractual clause to force Hollywood to see us tells you everything you need to know about how deep this problem runs. We had to write it into contracts because the industry wouldn't do it on its own. We had to demand in legal language that our existence be acknowledged. That's not progress, that's survival. And we deserve more than survival. Let's talk about another community that's been fighting the same fight. In 2021, the Gina Davis Institute released a study that should have set off alarms across the industry. They found that Asian and Pacific Islander actors were cast in only 4.5% of lead roles in top grossing films from 2010 to 2019. And over a third of those roles embodied at least one harmful stereotype, like the model minority or the martial artist. These reductive tropes mask the diversity and complexity of Asian and Pacific Islander communities and contribute to real world marginalization and misunderstanding. Activists, scholars, and filmmakers have been pushing back, advocating for more nuanced stories. Films like Crazy Rich Asians, while imperfect, increased visibility and sparked dialogue about representation. But the work is far from over. Decades of whitewashing and stereotyping have left deep scars, and it takes sustained advocacy and authentic storytelling to heal them. And here's what we need to understand: when one community is erased or stereotyped, it sets a precedent. It sends a message that some lives, some stories, some complexities don't matter. And that message doesn't just harm one group, it harms all of us. And here's something that might surprise you: audiences actually want better. Research conducted by MarketCast for the Better Life Lab at New America found that most viewers prefer and are more engaged by realistic, equitable depictions of work, family, and gender in TV and film. Entertainment media often defaults to gender and racial stereotypes, making caregiving and complex identities invisible and assigning blame to individuals for systemic barriers. But when shows and films break away from those stereotypes, they find strong audience engagement. There's a market for authentic representation. People are hungry for it. The Rescripting Gender, Work, Family, and Care initiative works with creators to advise on content that reflects real world diversity and challenges outdated tropes. They've provided advisement to multiple projects, helping shift industry practices toward more inclusive storytelling. And the impact is clear. Both audiences and creators benefit from moving beyond stereotypes, creating space for more empowered and accurate stories. This isn't just about being nice or politically correct. This is about telling the truth. And the truth is profitable. The truth is engaging. The truth is what people want to see. So, what does all of this mean for us? What does it mean for you sitting here, listening, trying to navigate your own soft girl era, trying to let go of the cape, trying to rest without explanation, trying to reclaim your identity? It means this: the stories we consume shape us. They shape how we see ourselves and how the world sees us. And if we keep accepting stories that diminish us, stereotype us, and erase us, we are complicit in our own erasure. But if we demand better, if we support content that offers authentic representation, if we challenge the stereotypes we see and refuse to stay silent, we become part of the revolution. We become part of the change. Trenisha believes that if more people and organizations actively challenged and refused to perpetuate stereotypes in entertainment, we would see a richer tapestry of stories, improved self perception, and social opportunity for marginalized groups, and a more just and equitable industry. This shift would help dismantle systemic barriers and create space for everyone to see themselves reflected authentically on screen. And I believe that too, because here's the thing, sis. You've spent your whole life being strong. You've led teams, you've raised families, you've held down households, you've carried communities, and you've done it all while the world told you through every movie, every TV show, every commercial that you could only be one thing: strong, resilient, unbreakable. But you're tired and you're ready to be soft, you're ready to be complex, you're ready to be seen as fully human with dreams and fears and joy and rest and boundaries and peace. And that starts with demanding that the stories we see reflect that truth. Think about the last time you saw yourself, really saw yourself on screen. Not a version of you filtered through someone else's lens, not a stereotype, not a trope, but you. Complex, multifaceted, soft and strong, tired and hopeful, healing and whole. How often does that happen? And when it doesn't happen, what does that do to your sense of worth? What does it do to your daughter's sense of possibility? What does it do to the way the world perceives you, hires you, values you, respects you? The stories we tell ourselves matter, but the stories the world tells about us matter even more, because those stories don't just live in our heads, they live in boardrooms, they live in courtrooms, they live in classrooms, they live in the policies that shape our lives and the perceptions that limit our opportunities. And if we don't fight for better stories, if we don't demand authentic representation, if we don't use our voices and our choices to shift the narrative, then we are allowing the same tired, harmful, limiting stories to define us for another generation. And I don't know about you, but I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to let my daughter grow up in a world where she only sees herself as the sidekick, the stereotype, the one dimensional character who exists to serve someone else's story. I'm not willing to let the next generation of Black women, of Asian women, of Latina women, of all marginalized women believe that they have to choose between being strong and being soft, between being seen and being erased. I'm not willing to stay silent while the entertainment industry continues to profit off our pain, our stereotypes, our erasure. And I hope you're not willing either. So here's what I want you to do: challenge yourself to question the stereotypes you see in entertainment. Support content that offers authentic representation. Demand better from creators and industry leaders. Your choice and your voices matter in shaping the stories that define our culture. Stop watching shows that reduce you to a trope. Stop supporting films that erase your complexity. Stop staying silent when you see yourself misrepresented. Speak up, show up, demand better. Because this is not just about entertainment. This is about our lives. This is about our worth. This is about our future. This is your soft girl era. This is your time to rest, to heal, to set boundaries, to reclaim your identity, and to demand that the world see you as you truly are. No cape, no apology, no explanation, just you. Soft, strong, and free. And most importantly, remember this: you are not a stereotype. You are not a trope. You are not one dimensional. You are beautifully complex, deeply worthy, and deserving of stories that honor every part of who you are. So the next time you turn on the TV, the next time you buy a ticket to a movie, the next time you scroll through a streaming service, ask yourself this: does this story see me? Does it honor me? Does it reflect the fullness of who I am? And if the answer is no, then don't watch it. Don't support it. Don't give it your time, your energy, or your money, because your attention is currency. Your support is power. And it's time we use that power to demand the representation we deserve. The revolution is not coming, the revolution is here. And it starts with the stories we refuse to accept and the stories we demand to see. Thank you.